What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who do not know, this is going to be episode 2 of the McTako, McCabe Minute, whatever we're calling it, podcast. So I've got Brian McTako with me. Say hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh, I'm doing great, man.
You're doing great.
I'm so glad to be here. I love coming down into this spot.
It's the basement is always a great time. It's always so much fun. As you can see, if you guys watched our first episode, we have kind of relocated a little bit into the basement. Usually we're on that wall, but we decided to move to this wall. And maybe next week we'll move to that wall. Maybe we'll just continue like circling the basement so people can have an idea and get a better visual of what we see when we're down here.
That'd be pretty sick. And then have like a 360 basically view.
I like that. Yeah.
Of everything.
That way you could go back and watch every episode. And at some point I do plan to go through the basement and go through majority of my discs, like mainly the ones on the wall, like all the Emacs on the wall that were behind us in the last one. The ones behind me now are all specialty discs as well. There's a few Emacs up there, but those are the mostly the Emac truths on that wall. And then I do have like 10 shadow boxes behind the camera right now that have discs that really mean something to me in them. And a couple prototypes of a disc. Lucidex Emacs, like one of the very first ones that ever was produced.
Yep.
2 other ones I'm going to talk about right now. One of them is the 2 discs that probably mean the most to me. One of them is called the Laviar. And what that is Craig Lava was a disc golfer from Texas back in the day. Back in early 2000s that would travel. One of the best lefties of all time to ever play the game. Close friend of mine. He passed away, and his ashes are in that AVR.
Oh, wow.
So I was fortunate enough to get one of those from Brian Mace was the guy that actually made sure
Mace
I got
man.
one.
Yep.
So that's pretty near and dear to my heart. And then the one right next to it that's in another shadow box. And I'm sorry you guys can't see this, and those of you listening on the audio podcast obviously can't see it, but I am going to put a video together where I'm going to go through and talk about everything. But the other one is a gum putt, I believe it is. A Steady Ed gum putt from way back in the day.
It looks so old.
It is so old. I got it in 99, as you can tell by the signature on it. I got Steady Ed Hedrick, the founder of disc golf, I guess the inventor of disc golf. He invented the disc golf target. And my 1999 Amateur Worlds in Kansas City, Missouri, I had met him. I got to meet him at the Fly Mart, and it was like such a cool thing. And I bought that disc right there and got him to sign. Actually, I got 2 of them, had him sign them both, and I gave the other one to my good friend Gabe. He's still got his somewhere. But
that's awesome.
PDJ number 001. Pretty cool.
It's a pretty low number.
I mean, it was incredible meeting the guy. It was just it was really cool. I mean, oh yeah, and especially being in Kansas City. There's some fantastic disc golf in Kansas City, even back then, back when Swope Park was still around. It's not there anymore. They have a new Swope that I haven't played yet, but actually, speaking, that's kind of a good segue. We were in Kansas City last weekend.
That's right, we were.
With the ladies. We went up and played a doubles match at
Bad Rock
Creek. Taco and his wife, Carly, had never been there. What did you think of the course?
Man, honestly, if I was a local in that area, I would hit that thing all the time. Like, Carly would be so mad because I'd go out there without her. Just stitch her like, oh, babe, I got some stuff to do. But no, that course was super legit. There was I feel like there was 3 basket placements on every hole. Yep.
And not just that, there were actual gold baskets on
baskets
the
and
gold
blue
layout, which was cool.
Yeah, it was a really cool one. But there's nice fairways, up and down golf, hills, a lot of nice wooded shots. You got to carry water on some holes. It was just I really enjoyed that type of golf. Growing up in California, you get a lot of wooded golf.
Sure you do. You don't get that around here.
It's fewer and far between. There are some gems out there. The Farm, I would say, is a great wooded,
It's not wooded, but it has the wooded style feel to the course.
Yeah, the carved fairways basically, but still have that. If you get in the rough, you're in those trees. But
sure.
But anyways, yeah, this was a great. my wife and I were just talking about, like, man, we need to go back because that was like a really, really fun and cool course.
Well, you guys will be making a lot of trips up there with us because that's something Dee and I have always liked to do on the weekends is go up to Kansas City or down to the farm or anywhere, just a little bit of a weekend road trip and go and play as much golf as we can and eat some delicious food. We did stop at Lulu's in between rounds.
Awesome.
And we got a round in at Rosedale, too.
We hit Rosedale. We were thinking about playing down under, and then we were like, no, let's just stay up top. And
let's just stay up top and roll through this round real quick.
Yeah, I think we got in all 18.
We got all but
or no, we skipped.
We skipped 2 holes because there was a bunch of backups and then
like
there was
course hole 7 or something like that, which I think everybody knows, and then hole 8.
6 and 7.
6 and 7.
6 and 7. We jumped
one into
past
the corner.
island.
Sorry, everybody.
Down. And just jumped ahead of people, but it's not like we had people waiting on us behind us when we jumped in front of people. Disc golf etiquette, guys, don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, try not to jump holes either. But if you're moving faster than those other groups, then sorry,
if you do
but
jump
not sorry.
holes and people come up behind you, let them play through.
And we did that.
Yeah, we always did that.
Yep. So,
but no, it was a fantastic time, and watch. I have most of the video edited. All the way through, and Denise and I are going to do some commentary on it here in the next few days, and so watch for that video to be released on my YouTube page as well.
Yep.
Couples doubles. It was Dee and I versus Carly and Taco, and it was fun. It was a cool competitive match, and it's pretty funny watching the video, actually, watching Maverick and Ren run all over that course.
They were so, they were squirrels. I mean, they were gone. They loved it.
They were running up on us, running past us, running in front of our putts. I mean, that's how you become a better disc golfer is get a couple dogs with you and have
major
them distract
distraction.
you, because if you watch
off
me,
the tee pad, bro, it's my
I don't
turn.
even really notice them anymore.
Right? Yeah.
So I mean, it's a great way to set it out.
It's hilarious, yes.
But speaking of great courses that Kansas City has to offer, let's expand that a little bit more. What would you say? Kind of putting you on the spot, but what would you say your favorite U.S. course, or I mean, maybe course in general? I mean, I don't know how much courses you've played outside the U.S., but
0 actually.
Okay, so then
so
just
it's
give
an
me
easy one.
your favorite U.S. disc golf course.
Man, I think the event itself has a lot to do with the course, because there's a lot of times when you play an event and that layout isn't available.
Right.
For you. And to be honest, I grew up on Rockland disc golf course in Rockland, California.
NorCal, right?
NorCal.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like Sacramento suburb.
Yep.
Shady Oaks, that was one of the local courses. I love that course. That was a great course to kind of grow up on. But Rockland, when they do the Rockland Pro-Am, they have these temporary baskets where they use the front 9 of the regular course, and then they do 9 baskets, and then the back 9 of the regular course with these other 10. And man, that layout, that's a 36 hole layout, but that layout has got to be up there on the top. I also really enjoyed Bijou. So those 2 courses, I mean, it's hard to pin them down.
It is,
because there's just so many, maybe in Colorado, if I could do it by state, it'd be like, California is probably Rockland, and then let's say Bijou's in Nevada. So that way I can use two separate states. Yeah. But then I would move to Roy G in Texas,
in Austin.
And then after Colorado, I loved Bailey. That was a great course.
Right.
So I have a lot of great ones. But. Yeah, I would say that Rockland layout, because you don't get to play it. I think that makes it more mystic.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely, it does.
I mean, yeah. So, obviously you've played probably a million courses, but I'm sure you have some top 5s, let's say.
Maybe I can roll through a handful of my favorites, because it is, like you said, it's really hard to pinpoint an actual, here's my number 1. I would say my number 1 course is Disc Golf Tourmaline, which we kind of talked about last time on the last episode.
The 80 is the 81 hole.
The 81 hole challenge course.
Insane.
The SO layout. And like you said, you nailed it. A lot of it has to do with the experience of when you get to play the course. And I played that course. I mean, it's in Sweden, so who doesn't want to go to Sweden? So naturally, that course could have been junk, and it probably would have made my top 10. And I don't knock courses very often. and I think it's probably the course designer in me, to be honest with you. Like I try my best not to judge unless it's like obvious, like you step up to a tee pad and then you've got a playground 30 feet to the left and you're throwing a Mando right past it. You know, little
Not
things
a good
like
idea.
safety type of issues is what will trigger me, but it's very difficult for me to step up to a course and play the course and be like, man, this place is awful. Like, what's going on here? Like, I just enjoy disc golf that much. I think that I just enjoy majority of the courses I play. Now, don't get me wrong, I have played some I guess turds out there that you could say, but a lot of that is probably just due to the evolution of the game.
Yeah.
The game getting more challenging or make the games getting easier with the technology that we have. So, you know, it's tough for me to find a course that I don't like. I'll be honest with you there.
Right.
But a handful of my top fives are going to be no surprise to anybody, at least in the U.S. It's going to probably fall in line of a lot of the similar courses that you're going to hear about out there, like Maple Hill. You know, I wouldn't say Maple Hill is my number one course at all, but it's definitely in my top five because it's a course that I've traveled to many, many years and had so much fun playing that tournament every year. And one year I even got to stay in the house on the property, which is so cool.
Oh my gosh.
We camped out one year. We stayed across the street. I mean, it's just a whole experience. And I think the best I've ever finished there was third place, and that was way back. I mean, that
podium.
I podium for sure, and it was way back in the day. I don't remember exactly when, but Maple Hill is always special because you got to bring your A game out there. It's got a little bit of everything on the course. That's a number one, or that's in my top five rather, and then moving all the way, almost as far away as you can go from there, is Milo McIver in Estacada, I think it is. Estacada, Oregon, like just south of Portland. My goodness, I fell in love with this place. It's like my kind of golf because it's not, I mean, there's a few wooded holes, but it's not like super like pitch and putt / poke and hope style of wooded holes. It's like carved fairways. It's legit. If you guys don't know about Milo, I mean, wake up and do some research or make your next summer trip to Portland because that place is phenomenal. And it's kind of like another one that there's a handful of holes on one of the courses. I can never remember east or west out there, but the hole that has the genius hole on it's what they call it. It's you kind of climb this hill and you shoot out of a gap and the basket's way down like 2 tiers, and it's a hole that's not always there permanently. And it could be now. That could be different now, but.
So, like, I know my mom recently just went up there and stayed there. Like in there's RV spots.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there's an RV park up there. She went up there and she was like, "Oh, there's a disc golf course here," and I was like, "I think that's Milo, Mom." Like, what?
A popular one.
Yeah, she like got out of the car. My mom knows nothing about disc golf. I love you, Mom, but you know, you just, this is one of those things you didn't like for me. So, but it's okay, right? But
it's not for everyone.
No, yeah, but yeah, it's just so there's 2 courses.
Technically, I could be wrong on this because it's been a few years since I've traveled up there, but from what I recall, it was a 27-hole course. And they added 9 to one of the courses to make it 2 18s.
Nice.
Is what they did.
Right on.
And I mean, I couldn't tell you which one's east or west, like I mentioned, but both of them were just. Whenever you were there, you were always. I mean, I can't pronounce that river. There's a river right there. People are gonna. Yeah, tell me
like Klamath or something like that.
No, it's like Clackamas or something like that. River.
Platypus.
It starts with no. I don't believe it's a platypus. There could be platypus living or platypi living in it. Is that right? Is that the plural?
I think platypus is actually a plural word.
I like platypi. I think that sounds a lot better. But
nobody knows what he's talking about.
and here's another reason that I probably like Milo so much is because I remember being there and. It's also I think second place is my best finish there. I finished second to Stevie Rico one year.
That guy's kind of good.
He's not too bad. He's not. And spoiler alert, I think it was 2014 when Worlds was out there, and it wasn't an NT. It was like an A tier, so like nobody went. And I'm like, I'm going to Portland. I don't care if it's a C tier. I'm going.
Yeah.
But I remember we were out there, and Stevie's a great friend of mine. And I remember playing a hole and looking back and seeing a bald eagle across the river perched on a tree that had a fish in its hand that it just grabbed out of the river, and it was just gnawing on. I mean, it was
just witnessed the murder from one of the best things ever.
It was
a bald eagle.
It was Milo.
Oh my gosh.
Milo's where it's at, people. If you guys don't know, now you know, kind of thing.
That's that experience thing you were talking about. Like, I'm here in this beautiful surrounding, and I watched nature at its finest.
I watched nature do nature things. And
yeah, awesome.
Milo, and another thing, Pier Park, right down the road from there, is another one that's just a phenomenal course that would probably be, if I could have a course in my backyard, it would be Pier Park.
Wow.
It's just got these big, beautiful pine trees and carving shots, and it's just one of those feel-good courses. You know what I mean? You just go out and have a good time. So, and the Pacific Northwest, let's be honest, it's just made for
There's
disc
some
golf.
good golf out
it's
there.
It's just made for it, honestly. It's just so beautiful out there, and it's just, I thoroughly enjoy my time up there. So,
nice.
That's a couple of them. Maybe I'll try. Let's see, what's another good one that I've played over the years? There's a bunch in Kansas City. Waterworks comes to mind. It's just, and that one's more of, it's got a special place in my heart because it's one of the first courses I traveled to play. Texas is Roy G. You mentioned Slaughter Creek, Circle C. Back in the day, Circle R was amazing.
Circle R.
That Texas Hill Country, there's just beautiful terrain down there.
There's a lot of good stuff to work with out there.
It really, but I got to give a shout out, and my course in Alaska is probably in my top 5 for sure. And that's not me just being biased or being a homer pick about it, but that my goodness, people, like. It's been like 2 years in the making, and it wasn't quite finished for the event that we hosted last year, and I hope it gets done for this year's event that we're having in June, but if not,
bucket list,
patience.
June, everyone.
It's going to be...
the Meyer Lake Classic?
Meyer Lake Classic. It's just a beautiful course. Like, the property, I can't remember how many acres it is, but
it looked like a lot from their video.
It's an awful lot. It's an old church camp is what it is.
Oh, wow.
And they've converted it into this boutique, basically, in the middle of nowhere, like in the middle of Alaska. Like Wasilla, Alaska. It's about an hour or so north of Anchorage. It is beautiful. It's got 18 holes. They have 2 baskets on every single hole. They have 2 tee pads on every single hole. And the amount of work that has gone into that place is just... phenomenal.
For 2 years, even that, and you played an event on it this last year, so it's like, that's putting in work.
It is.
To do that and get, I'm assuming in Alaska you have to carve out some fairways and
this
some
was
trees.
Untouched forest, Alaskan forest that hadn't been touched in years and years and years. So it was very dense, and I think it was pretty cool, actually. I saw a moose when I was designing the course.
Oh, what?
It scared the crap out of me.
Those things are massive.
They're massive, and they can be mean. Like
a bull?
They can be aggressive. Yeah, it was definitely a bull. Had a full rack and everything. Those can be very aggressive. And, it's funny. When I was designing the course, one of the owners, so Mike and Steve, you've met Steve before.
Steve's
he came
awesome guy.
Spent a week. Steve Solari, he spent a week down here, and he's in my phone as Alaska Steve, and he's such a good dude. I love Steve to death. He's become one of my closest friends, if not like a brother to me. So,
nice.
Where was I going with that? Oh yeah. So they had told me before I went into the woods, like, hey, there's not a lot of people back there. Like, we haven't been back in that area for quite some time, so it hasn't been disturbed in a while. So just here's what you need to know, okay? If you see a moose, try to hide behind a couple trees, right? And he told me if it has babies in the area, they could be within 100 yards of it, and you don't want to be between it and the mama, and that mama will mess you up. So they don't see very well, apparently, so you can hide behind trees, and and if one thing Alaska has plenty of, it's trees.
Right.
So
they got like the opposite of tunnel vision, so you just stand right in front of them.
Yeah. I wasn't too concerned about the moose, to be honest, because it's a moose.
What about like a bear or something?
That's the next one. So they told me a black bear, if you see a black bear, look big, make lots of noise. And I'm like, okay. I've never looked big in my entire
Guilty.
life. Ever.
Got like two of the shortest guys sitting at the same table right now.
Never have I looked big in my entire life. So
a cub would just be laughing at you.
Yes.
Like, dude, I'm going to eat you.
I'm going to eat you
so bad.
So bad. And then they said brown bear, grizzly, obviously.
Oh, cool. So like the three meanest,
also for the black bears,
biggest bears.
Don't climb it. Don't climb trees or anything like that because it'll climb the tree faster than you. And I'm like, true, because I don't climb trees. But
my gosh.
And then the grizzly was just play dead, lay down and play dead. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Can you like instantly? You know what came to my mind?
The movie The Edge.
No, the movie
with Leo
DiCaprio. What's it called?
Or was it The Revenant? It was The Revenant.
It was The Revenant.
Leo DiCaprio. If you haven't seen that thing, check that out.
Oh my god.
That's like based on a true story.
That scene came to my memories or came to my mind, and I'm like, that's what you need me to do. But then he just.
This is why people fear Alaska.
He did tell me later that night that hey, we haven't seen a bear on our property like ever, so don't worry about it. Like they just wanted to kind of scare this Kansas boy up there a little bit, I think, but.
Worked.
No, it
Check that off the list.
Definitely worked. I'm like looking over my shoulder.
Oh my gosh!
But no, it was fantastic, and I'm kind of dragging on at this point. But
yeah.
That's a couple of my favorite courses, and you kind of nailed it with not just the event, but like the leagues that you do or your experience playing the course. So if you have like a bad time playing a course, or you don't like you're having like a bad day and you go play a new course, it's probably not going to make your top 10 because it's your attitude going into it as well. So try to have a positive attitude when going and playing new courses, I guess.
100%. Yeah.
But kind of leads me to my next question about like leagues and minis and all that. Growing up here around Emporia, we always played doubles. Like it was always doubles. Leagues, but always doubles. And
like Saturday, Sunday dubs.
Wednesday night. Saturday afternoon. And Saturdays were always fun because we would always play dubs at like 10, I think it was, or noon.
Yep.
And then we would all play, and then we'd do payout, and then somebody would run to Burger King and get some hamburgers, and then come back, and then we'd play again.
You guys had, what is that called? DoorDash? You guys had Course Dash?
Course Dash. Yeah. We were ahead of our time back then.
That's super smart.
This was like late 90s I'm talking about. So
like
there was no calling somebody on the cell phone to get burgers, you know what I mean? We did the burger run. It was funny actually, whoever lost league that day was the one that had to go.
It's like a double insult.
It is. It absolutely is.
Like, hey dude, you're late
for it, but they had to go pick it up.
Well,
so doubles is always what
motivation.
I always wanted to do singles,
yeah,
but it's tough to do singles. Handicap you can do, but that's challenging as well.
Yeah.
But what's some of your leagues that you've maybe not just played in, but what are your favorite like leagues to play?
Well, so it's funny that you said that handicap's tough to do. Because if you think about it, it is like you need to average probably 3 rounds at any given course, and then you have to have people want to do that same format.
Yep.
I, as a beginner, when I was in San Angelo, I loved the handicap league that they had out there, because there was this kid, Nick Routon. He was 18 at the time, and he's like still a pretty decent
baller.
Yeah, he's still decent. He's like 10-20 rated or something like that out of Texas, San Angelo area. But anyways, he used to just come through and just run everybody, him and a handful of guys that have been playing for a while. And for a beginner, it was like, I wanted to go out there and get that competition, and that handicap league gave me that opportunity. So as a beginner, and when I first started, I loved the handicap league because I could go out there and shoot lights out. I'm starting at like 5 under or whatever because I wasn't that great.
Right.
Nick's starting at like 7 or 8 over.
Yeah.
So if you think about that, like you have a really good chance he's going to probably get those 14 strokes back on me or whatever. But I had a good chance to potentially win some more money back that I put in. Always am a huge fan of dubs. I love dubs.
Dubs is fun.
Dubs is so much fun, and that was something that.
And don't be that person that plays dubs and then gets mad when you don't get the best player, or the player that maybe isn't the best, or or I'm gonna say it, is a female. Like when I go to play leagues, I want that person as my partner.
Yeah.
I want and I'm not trying to say I want the worst player out here. And I don't want to say that, but I thrive on that. It makes me play better, honestly.
Totally.
And there's nothing better than winning with that scenario. So Don't be that guy out there. Just go play dubs and have a good time.
I mean, well, like so Carly and Haley. So Haley's my 11-year-old,
Yep.
right? I always wanted her to be like a world champion. I was like, dude, get her started young, come out here and just start crushing, and then all of a sudden she just turns into a monster, right? And I'm like, yes, I want that because I'm not going to be that. So I need to form
live through my daughter.
A human. Yes.
No hate whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm not there.
Do what you gotta do.
So anyways, like I would take her to doubles with me. And I would make her ride through that round, basically 18 holes when she was like 7 or 8. And I would just be like, hey, I'm going to take my daughter as my partner. Because, first of all, she's 7 or 8. And basically I'll be playing solo. But I would do that. And I loved that. My daughter and I played it was like the Shady Anniversary or something like that. And it was like a doubles event, or it was some sort of doubles event. And we played on the mixed doubles, and we ended up winning in the pro division by like 5 strokes. And she jammed like every putt inside 30 feet when she was like 7.
I believe it. I've seen her throw.
Stupid.
I've seen her throw.
Like I would literally throw drives, and then she would just jam putts. We finished under par for that event. Like we would have, I think won intermediate too. Which, it was pretty sweet at a doubles event. But
so most of the doubles leagues that you have played over the years, have they like split it up into A pool, B pool, and then like A poolers can't partner up with A poolers or anything like that? I've seen stuff like that, and I think it's a good. I mean, as long as you have a big enough community of players and a good, it sucks to be that one guy that's teeter-tottering on either side.
The bubble boy.
Maybe the A side is a little bit worse than bubbling on the B side, because at least the B side you get to hook up with a true A player, but. It's just, it's up to you guys really on who's determining these A and B poolers, but back in the day when I played leagues all the time, and I try to play league now whenever I can. I know that Derek used to host a Hops and Heisers league every Saturday throughout the winter, and that was
awesome.
A blast. I think it was like $10 or something like that to play.
Yeah, and then he did a mulligan, so it was 11.
You could take a mulligan
every Saturday
whenever, and then some of the money went to payout.
Yep.
Some of the money went to the finale.
Also
then,
awesome.
A big ace pot as well, if I recall. And then we always went to Radius after and did half price apps and pizzas and beers. So always a great time playing that. And I was sad to hear that it's not happening this year, but completely understand. Derek's got a lot going on right now with Lime Warrior. He just moved into a new house, and there's just COVID. I mean, there's a lot going on.
This
there's
is
a
2020.
lot going on right now. It's unfortunate, though, because that was something I always woke up to on a Saturday morning looking forward to, even if it was cold outside, just bundling up and going out and playing some disc, and occasionally maybe bringing a bottle of hot damn with me. And
I might have partaken on one of those adventures.
I think you had. I think that was on the New Year's Day round. It was like -10.
Oh my gosh, it was so cold.
You could see the crystals in the air. It was that cold.
Yeah, it was like my eyebrows and eyelashes were like frozen together.
I think there's a picture out there somewhere of that with you, me.
Well, yeah.
I think it's Oscar
Torres,
Mike Smith. I think it was us 4 on a card. I don't know how I remember that.
Shout out Michael.
3 or 4 years ago, but
that was awesome. That was great.
It was a great time for sure. But leagues are always fun. Let me know what style of leagues you guys do at your courses, and down in the comments. Like what leagues do you guys play? What do you enjoy? What works? What doesn't work? And all that. I'd love to hear that.
One thing that I really liked about the Hops and Heisers League was the fact that it rotated courses. So if you live in an area where it can rotate courses, and I think he kept the ace pot just as the Hops and Heisers like event, so that way all the
ace pots are awesome.
I love that thing. Was getting, how much was it that one time? I feel like it got up pretty high, like $400 or $500. I know I hit it.
Yes, you did at New Life. Correct?
At New Life, hole 5.
5 at New Life.
Yep. I smashed it with a putter, all air, and this is the time. I'm not really an ace screamer, but that was the time when I was like,
scream when you hit that.
I screamed so loud because it was for like so much, and I had been to every single one, and if you go to every, you get a higher percentage.
Yeah. So if the ace pot gets up to like $600,
it was like 75%.
You can't just show up and steal that ace pot, which I respect.
It's a really good way to run
that.
it. Yeah. So, but I was there, hadn't missed a day. So, I think I got paid whatever everybody else put in that day too. And then like 25% off. But anyways, it was like the second hole and I started screaming so loud. So that way in New Life, if you scream really loud, everyone's going to hear you.
Yeah,
and
especially on hole 5 because you're pretty much
right
in the middle of the court. The only person who may not hear you is somebody standing on hole 10's tee pad.
Right, all the way on the opposite side. But anyways, I screamed so loud. I made sure that everybody heard because then I wanted everybody to try to chase that ace.
Yes.
Because my goal was to like hit the ace and win the overall.
Yeah.
Which I think I took like second or third. I wasn't really thinking about anything else but the fact that I hit an ace.
I mean, when you're playing a big ace pot and you're playing a course like New Life where 90% of the holes are aceable, maybe all of the holes.
Then it was
maybe hole 10, but
so far.
but that's all you're trying to do is ace, and when you actually do it, you're like, wait, did that just happen? Did I just do what I'm supposed to do? What I came here to do?
Yeah, and it's such a rare, but dude, it was like so awesome, and that happened at the Hobson. So league aces are always great because everyone has more than likely has pitched in.
Hates you at the
That's
end of
always
the day.
great, But yeah, and it's like, but everybody there has basically pitched into that ace pot at a certain time or another. So it's always good to bring that camaraderie.
And there's always that one guy that comes out of the woodwork every year.
Shane.
His name is Shane Klein.
Shane Klein.
Emporia. Everybody knows Shane. He's our county
Throws
guy.
a scythe.
Hole 6, I think it was. I think he's done it twice.
Dude, he banged hole 2 and hole 6.
Yeah.
So hole 6 in the short position, which is
A jump putt.
150 feet.
Okay, it's not quite a jump putt, but it's definitely.
It feels. Some people are jump putting that.
It's definitely. If I ran a league, and no offense, Shane, props to you, my friend. One of two things would have happened. I would not have played that hole, or two, if you ace that hole, you get half the ace pot.
Sorry.
You get like the birdie pot.
Like,
no hate. I love you, Shane. Shane actually lives right down the street from me, and he's a good friend of mine. And I've always given him crap for that. I think he's done it twice where he came in and took all the ace pot, and it was both weekends when I was out of town and not there to go potentially get a share of that pot as well.
That's an optimist right there.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Good for him.
He knows what he's doing.
Good for Shane. That's awesome. So all right, guys. Last week or whenever that was, may not have been last week, but it was the last episode. We're gonna give away some Birdie Fuel coffee, some dog leg coffee right here. We have it right here. And what I asked you to do is just comment on the YouTube page and say, I want that coffee, or tell me a story, or whatever.
Yeah.
So we randomly picked a winner, and it is Matthew Strathman. If you are out there listening to this episode, hit me up on either Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Shoot me a private message and shoot me your address, and I'll get this dog leg sent out to you for you to enjoy. Shout out to Birdie Fuel. I'm excited to represent them for the 2021 season once again with dog leg and Coffee Mac. I think the official announcement is tomorrow, but there's a lot of great players that are representing. And it's always awesome to see a company like Birdie Fuel that's not a disc golf company sponsoring athletes in our sport. That's always pretty cool. And I haven't yet, but I'm gonna hit them up about maybe a McTako roast or something like that we can give away on this show.
Sounds fantastic.
Maybe like give some packets away or something like that. But
yes,
kind of leads me to my next point is I wanted to give something else away, and I've got this beautiful pink lucid glimmer EMAC Truth with the EMAC signature stamp on it right there. Taco has one of these in his bag.
They're so good. I actually had Eric sign mine on the other side
over here. Yeah.
So I have a double stamp.
But this is by far my favorite run of EMACs.
Yes.
The EMAC Truth at least. And I don't know how many I did. I think I made 100 of those, had 100 of those stamped, and I sold them at, I believe it was Junior Worlds last year.
Oh, yeah.
Is where I sold those, and I have a few more of them, and I wanted to share the love and give this one away. And how I want this one to be given away is, let's get creative on this. I want, you got to like and subscribe to the channel first and foremost.
Please do.
Like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you're listening on the audio podcast on a podcast platform, you're going to have to do a little bit more work here, I guess. But that's fine. What I want you to do is share this video, copy the link, share it on your Facebook page or your Twitter page. I don't care. Whatever. Just share it on some form of social media and tag myself and Brian both in those. And you probably won't be able to tag Brian on Twitter because I don't think he has Twitter. But
what's that?
But I do. I love Twitter. I think it's a lot of fun. It's where I can kind of relax and
I feel like there's a lot of reading there though. Do they have videos?
There's everything on Twitter. Like they just started doing those
amateur
video story things. I can't remember what they're called on there. It's something really weird, but
okay.
They have I mean, it's just another platform is really all it is. But it's uncensored and it's really where I follow my sports. It's where I follow like a lot of the sports stuff. And so if you follow me, a lot of the content I put out is either, well, obviously like anything, disc golf or a sporting event, like if it's
fishing.
The Jayhawks or the the
Kansas sports, Kansas sports for sure.
The Royals sometimes when they're better, but that's not right now.
Not right now.
Not so good. But yeah, so
they're
please
champs.
Share this video and tag me in it, tag Taco in it if you can find Taco's page. He is on Facebook as
Taco Shintaku. Yeah.
You can follow him there. Just share it. I want to give another EMAC away, and I don't know that we're going to do giveaways on every single episode, but I'm trying to get the word out there about this show.
I mean, if we hit like a certain milestone of like, I don't know, subscribers
would be great. Maybe like I want to do a big giveaway, and maybe I'll do some because this my gears are turning right now on what to do, but I want to do a big giveaway, something special. I need to figure out what that is, but it's going to be when we hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I think I'm shy of 6 right now.
You got some work to do,
and I'm just now really kind of like trying to build my page. You know, I've
had
it for a while, but I've had it for over 10 years. But now is when I'm really, I'm investing in it. I'm investing in a camera, audio equipment. I'm really trying here, and definitely want to continue to put out more content for you guys because I really do enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. So I think getting to 10,000 is something that could happen. But I'll come up maybe the next time we meet. I'll come up with something to give away. Maybe it'll be I don't know yet. I'll figure that out.
No teasers.
No teasers.
We gave enough teasers.
There's no
with
teasers
we're
yet.
giving
I don't even know
away.
what it is, so I can't really tease anything
madness.
just yet. But who knows? I've got some pretty cool things in this basement. So
oh my gosh! Understatement.
I think I can be able to find something to give you guys and gals out there. So
I have to get checked or searched every time I leave to make sure I don't.
Yep.
Fast hands.
Every time.
So. But
that's not true. That's so not true.
It isn't. It's just great to
cool people
admire
in this basement too that come down and check it out, and obviously just about everybody on our tour team has come down here. I remember Erica came down here. That's where she was in the background of my very first my first TikTok video that had your daughters in it.
Oh my gosh!
Wearing I have a couple Stormtrooper helmets over there. They were both wearing them, and Lily, I think it was,
Lily
said we have been sent here to destroy the world. Just candid, and it was oh my gosh,
she didn't miss a beat. She was just
so fun.
Like I'm 5 or 6 and I'm just the cutest thing ever,
and she is, and I'm old and I don't understand TikTok, but it's fun and it's addicting. It's a rabbit hole. But I like to post a lot of disc golf content on there, and sometimes it gets views, dude. Like I remember going to when I was in New Mexico designing the Moon Mountain course. I was at Everett's buddy's house. We all went out and we had a barbecue with the team, and they did like a tags match, and they invited me to come out and enjoy and participate. And it was just, man, I felt like one of the guys that day. It was just so cool, right?
Right.
Well, there's this big hill on the backside of it. I say hill, it's more like a mountain for me. We climbed up that thing, and I had this big giant frisbee, like cloth, those big giant ones that are like made of cloth, like the outside is like a hard foam or something like that. Well, I had one of those, and I launched it off the top of this thing, right? Massive hyzer because it's so unstable. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to put this on TikTok. Why not? Let's see what happens. And I'm going to pull it up right now, and just to see what kind of views it has, because I know I haven't looked in a while, but it had a lot of views back in the day.
I remember seeing that, but I didn't watch it on TikTok.
No, I think I shared it out on Instagram story or something like that. Okay, here it is. It's got 5.6 million views. Like,
what?
5.6 million views. I'm like, why are people watching this? I don't I'm old. Like I said, I don't understand how the algorithm works. I don't understand anything about it. But
that's a lot of looks.
It's a lot of people. So I like sharing some disc golf stuff. Anytime I do like a slow-mo disc golf video, it tends to get a lot more views and comments and likes and all that. So I'm going to continue to try to do some more of that type of stuff. But right now what I want to do is more YouTube content for you guys. And this EMAC Truth, I want to give it away. So make sure you share it and like this video and all that fun stuff. So
yes. And thank you very much for being here, listening or watching.
Yeah, listen to us just ramble on like we do. Like we have. It's fun, but I really do enjoy it. And one other thing before we go, what I'd like to see is we're going to need some topics for the future, I would say. Mm-hmm. If you want and you're still here, comment down below on what you would like to hear us ramble about. Or if you have questions for me about back in the day touring, you know, some of the cool places I've been or things I've seen on the road, stuff like that.
I definitely have questions about that.
Fantastic. Well, go ahead and comment on this video, Taco.
Yes, I will.
And and if you want to know anything about Taco too, anything about him and you know what his past has been. He was a military man.
Was in the military.
Anything. Just comment down below. We'd love to discuss anything and everything. So. This has been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Maybe I was thinking like maybe you got somebody on that's watching that has had a cool experience with you.
Yeah, that's great too.
And then you could just talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I probably won't have that as much as Eric.
You never know.
Yeah, for sure.
You never know.
Anyways, let's hear what you guys have to say, and we'll do our best to get out there and make it awesome.
Yeah, let us know what you want to see, what you want to hear, and share this video to get this EMAC. And I think we're running a little over half an hour here probably, and I'd like to try to keep these to about a half an hour.
Agreed.
For now, and then maybe when we have more topics in the future, and you know, maybe we'll have some guests on at some point.
I like that
call
too.
Some people, or just have them come on down to the EMAC studio, I guess we can call it. I don't know if that's what we really want to call it. That sounds really dumb, but the man cave maybe, the EMAC cave. I don't know. The truth cave. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. But
truth or consequences cave.
What's the consequences?
That's what you have to find out.
There is none.
X-nay that.
Alert. So,
all right.
Well, thanks again, everybody, for watching. As always, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.